We're going to solve a linear Diophantine equation. Here are the steps that helped me understand and complete a linear Diophantine equation. I have 6 steps to help, and I'll go through each step with you. First, we find the greatest common divisor, known as the GCD. We find the GCD by using the reverse Euclidean algorithm. Once the GCD has been found, we divide the equation's C value, in this case it's a 28, by the GCD. If it can be divided evenly, then this linear equation can be solved. If the C value cannot be divided evenly by the GCD, then we stop because the equation cannot be solved for. Then we create and rewrite the GCD equations to represent A equals QB plus R. We start with the equation that determined our GCD and make substitutions as we go along. This was the hardest part for me, and it took me a while to understand, but then I'll show you in the slides how it became easier for me with color coding and by understanding distributive law and collecting like terms. Once you find x and y, you multiply x and y from the number you received. When we divide 28 by the GCD, once you have completed the multiplication, you can check your answer by inputting x and y that you just solved for. After computing the equation, if you get 28 or C, then you have completed your math correctly. So first we have to find the GCD by following this equation, and then we get these. We keep computing until we reach 0, and then we used the equation just above the 0, and that's going to be your GCD. So our GCD is 1. Next, we're going to divide the GCD by 28. So 28 divided by 1 equals 28. So therefore, it can be solved. Keep that number in mind because we're going to use it on step number 5. So rewrite the equations for the GCD, and we're going to follow the equation A equals QB plus R. So therefore, the equations turn into this. And we start from the bottom up. And this is the part where I struggled, was the number 4. So compute the math by starting from the bottom to the top and subbing the equation for the remainders. So number 1. So we took this equation and we brought it up here. Now this is going to be the tricky part here. Here we have to replace this 2 with this equation because it equals to 2. So we're going to write the equation that is equal to 2 in replacement. So once we sub that in, we add the distributive law, and then we collect like terms. Now that I have a 7 here, I can replace and substitute this 7 with this equation, which is done here. And then again, apply the distributive law, and then collect like terms, and then you find x and y. So therefore, x is equal to 7, and y is equal to negative 24. Remember this 28, we have to multiply this 28 by the 7 and by the 24. So 28 times 7 equals 196, and 28 times negative 24 equals negative 672. Now those are our new x and y. So once we've multiplied, you can solve for x and y and double check by substituting your answers in the equation. So 55 times 196 plus 16 times negative 672 is equal to 28.